Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Course Creator Community Podcast, the place where course creators go to sell more of their online courses. I'm your host, Jono, and I'm super excited because we have an absolute rock star with us this week, all the way from the USA. A little bit about this person. She is one of the top Instagram educators in the world with over 8 years of experience teaching Instagram. She's a highly sought after business coach. She's traveled the world speaking, inspiring, and sharing her knowledge and extensive experience in social media marketing. I've personally heard her talk numerous times. It's the social media marketing world. So without further ado, let me introduce the one and only, the Instagram expert, Miss Sue B Zimmerman. Sue, how are
Hey,
you?
I'm great. How are you?
Yes, I'm awesome. Now, Sue, I like to start all my podcasts off with a quote or mantra that inspires you or fires you up. I usually give the guest a bit of a warning. I'm going to ask this, but I know you're quite experienced, so I thought it'd be more fun if we just throw it there cold. Is there anything you would want to share with my audience? Any quote or mantra that really
Yeah,
speaks to you?
I share a lot of quotes on Instagram. One of my favorites that I shared recently is create an experience that people will want to Instagram.
Mm.
That is one of my favorite quotes that I've recently shared.
Love it. I love that too. Do you want to expand a bit on that, Sue? Let me know what that means to you, and then I'll give my 2 cents as well.
Yeah, so in order to get more visibility online and for people to understand who you are and what you do, it's more important now than ever to create an experience that people feel a part of, so much so that they are going to want to pull out their phone and start documenting it, whether they're taking photos or videos of the experience because they're compelled to want to share it online in some way, whether it's in an Instagram story or it's a post in their feed or a post on Facebook. And I always say the more other people amplify, promote, and broadcast you, the more successful you are and the faster your community grows.
Yes, love that so much. I'll give my 2 cents on that because I love that quote there, especially on Instagram and especially as a course creator or an expert. Can be very easy to think it's about you. All right, cool. I'm just going to get it all about me and get what I want out there. However, really, we want the experience for our followers, right? We want them to have a good experience there. So I love that take on it. And I also love how you've said you want other people to amplify or to share your content because really there's only so far you can get on, and I'm sure you'll share some strategies with us in a second of how we can
Yeah.
grow on our own, but there's only so far you can get on your own, right? Especially with a platform on Instagram. The more people that are tagging their friends and sharing your photos and that sort of thing there, the better for you. So I love that. Now, Sue, I gave you a really quick intro there, but do you want to expand a little bit on that? Let us know in a minute or two, what is it you actually do? I've been following you for years, but someone's watching this and like, what does she do? Does she just take photos on Instagram or, is she an influencer? What is it you actually do, Sue?
Yeah, so I'm a boss at connecting people with opportunities so that they can make more money. And Instagram happens to be the tool, the platform that I've been teaching for over 8 years now. And I discovered Instagram, like many of you, as a small business owner who had a retail store here on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, where I am right now. And I took a lot of what I learned from the success I had in my retail store and started applying it and teaching other people had to have that success. And at the time, there was only 140 million active users on Instagram. And at the time, there was only one neighborhood, the
Mm,
feed. And
mm,
now, 8 years later, Instagram has 5 neighborhoods where you can
yes.
create content, feed stories, live, IGTV, and reels. And so I call this, the Subi neighborhoods. And Instagram is this massive village where people are hanging out in different neighborhoods and consuming content, that's organic to that neighborhood. And so I am a visual learner and thinker and always have been. I've had many successful businesses and I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. And so because I'm very visual, it just made sense for my mind to process information here on Instagram, especially because of the way that you can quickly inspire someone or educate someone or become that resource or that authority or that go-to person. And What I've learned along my journey is the more you get laser focused on who you're talking to, which is not the billion monthly active users, but it's the people that you want to be serving and doing business with, the more you know their interests and where they hang out and what they enjoy and what they do and what their pain points are, the more you can talk to them in the way that they understand. And so it's taken a lot of time for that to happen in my business, like any online course creator. I started with just one other person, and I now have a team of 12 and hitting that seven figure definitely this year mark, which is really exciting. And we just want to make an impact in a big way and teach other people what's possible when you really step into strategically using Instagram and really doing it from a high level. And that's what I do every day. Every single piece of content that you see in my feed, in my Reels channel, in my IGTV, when I go live weekly, always has to do with a strategy and an intention. And I think a lot of people don't set those intentions and strategies, and they're just basically throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something's going to stick, and nothing just sticks. You have to have a bigger plan. And so that's what I've learned over the years of getting extremely laser focused, intentional. I know exactly who I'm serving, who I'm talking to. And because of that, we welcome new members into our paid community every day.
Yes, love it. Wow, so much good bits of information there. Let me break that down and even simplify for some of the listeners as well. So a couple of things I really like that you said there, Sue. The first one was about getting laser focused. I've heard this quote on the internet. I'm not too sure who started it because every second person has it on their feed these days, but it's something around if you try and speak to everyone, you're going to end up speaking to no one. And I think that fits in well with what you said there. And I think that's not even just a good Instagram strategy, right? That's a good business strategy. It's a good
Yeah.
life strategy. Were you going to expand on that? Were you going to say something or?
No, I like what you're saying. I have a comment, but I'll let you finish.
Awesome. Cool. Well, no, go there because then there's actually a couple other directions I want to go. So if you want to touch
Yeah,
on
so
that.
I love that Sarah Clark is here, and I want to just acknowledge her statement in the Facebook group where, everyone and his brother or sister is an Instagram expert. I pride myself on being an Instagram educator every day. The handle, the Instagram expert, was the handle that I grabbed when I wanted to have a business account at the time. I had 7 Instagram accounts, and my personal account, B Zimmerman, was really just that, my personal account. And so when I went all in on the business and the educating, that's the handle, the business handle is the Instagram expert. And I, over 8 years it took to grow that many followers organically. And I am not that Instagrammer who is looking for all the likes and working with automation to get likes. And my success is really the conversations that occur every single day in the comment threads and when people feel like they're a part of a community. And so I lean into building community and making people feel validated and seen and heard, and help them overcome objections and push them gently in my bossy Boston way.
Hmm.
Because when I'm not here on the Cape, I'm at my apartment in the city, and I definitely am an East Coast gal with that kind of abrasive persona. But I know that a lot of people don't have the confidence to do Instagram and go all in because of the video component that the platform really favors. And so I really help women, specifically women 40 and older, understand what's possible. And I love that Sarah said that she's in a niche. And the way that you grow your following is by getting laser, even niching down more and more and more. And so I teach Instagram, but I teach Instagram mostly to beginners. My whole Ready Set Gram course, SueBZimmerman.com RSG, is for beginners who want to go from step A to step Z and understand all 5 neighborhoods and the strategies of content engagement and conversion that we teach in a systematic step-by-step way that's easy to follow and implement. And that course has over 2,700 students, and it's something I'm extremely proud of and that we improve and update yearly. And I know I went on a little tangent here, but I just wanted to really acknowledge Sarah's comment about being the Instagram expert.
Yes, love it. Thank you for doing that. I didn't see it actually. I focus on the Zoom at this stage here. So thank you for acknowledging that. Now, I want to expand here a bit, Sue. Sue, you've mentioned a couple times about strategy, getting strategic. So my question here, answer it however you like. Let's say, where does Instagram fit in that ecosystem? Like, I'm guessing the goal for most people is not, all right, cool, I'm going to be a full-time Instagrammer. They've probably got a course on something. Where does Instagram fit into that? What is a strategy or some of the strategies you could recommend that some of the people listening to this could be like, right, I've got a course I want to sell. What do? Do I just post an Instagram story and say, buy this? Or do I have to build my following? Do I need to get X amount of followers? Do I need to get in the comments, as you're saying? Do I need to get in all 5 boroughs? What can you tell us about Instagram strategy, or where does it fit in the ecosystem?
Yeah, so strategy obviously is at the highest level, and everything that I do and teach really is around building community. But in order to build community, you have to focus on your opt-in, your lead magnet, the top of your funnel. And so for us, and what works well is I create content consistently on the daily in my stories and in my feed, but once a week I do a new YouTube video that's about 4 to 6 minutes, and it helps people have small wins, and those small wins take people to the big wins. And every single time we post a new video on YouTube, we are promoting that on Monday in my feed. So that's the link that we share to grow our subscribers on YouTube. Because on YouTube, every single video, I talk about a free Instagram training, or I talk about our Instagram strategy guide. And so we are still top of the funnel even on YouTube. And because YouTube's owned by Google and we do a lot with keywords and search, I get discovered every single day. So people start following my channel, subscribe, and they go down the Subi rabbit hole of over 375 videos that you can learn and learn and learn for free. And so what happens is people are like, wow, all that was free. I can only imagine what I'll get if I pay for something. So we use Instagram to promote the YouTube video every single Monday. And when that link isn't there, most of the time, unless we're in a promotion, we use Linktree, which is a tool where you can have multiple links. And so when I say this, the multiple links for me are sending people to YouTube or sending people to our free strategy guide, which I just shared with the Facebook listeners, because I want people to understand these concepts that we teach at the high strategic level. And I think so many people get caught up in the weeds of hashtags and what to post instead of what's the reason you're posting? What is your end game? And so for us, it's to grow our email list every single day.
Yes, love that. Okay, cool. So I'll summarize there because I think there's some awesome points for the listeners. It's not so much about, all right, I posted a funny photo on Instagram and I got a whole heap of likes. That's not necessarily going to help your end outcome of selling courses. So essentially, Sue's strategy overview is, right, I want to sell more of my thing, my course. To sell more of my course, the most effective way for me to do it is via email. And that will probably be similar for most people listening to this, watching to this. And we've all probably heard it. If you're in this group or you're listening to the podcast, you've probably heard, hey, the power's in the list. You want to grow your email list. And essentially what Sue's doing is saying, hey, one of the best ways for me to grow my list is to use Instagram. So I'm going to post stuff on Instagram, but the major goal of posting on Instagram is to get people to my YouTube channel. And then the major goal of my YouTube channel is to get people on my email list. And then the major goal of my email list is to get people to buy the actual course. So that's the strategy there. And even, would you even say, Sue, if someone's listening to this, maybe they don't have a YouTube channel, could they potentially cut out that step as well and be like, right, the major goal on my Instagram is to get someone on my email list straight away? Could they do
Well,
that?
it's that, and it's also to be walking the talk as the go-to authority, expert, educator, artist. So I show up as the expert because I teach every day and I do build community on my Instagram. I go deep into DM conversations. Last month we made $200,000 just from the DM tactics that I teach,
Wow.
and they work. They work if you build relationship first.
What
And you don't.
quick question there? What program is that? Because I'm sure everyone listening and watching this is like $2,000 in the DMs in this program. What the hell is this program?
No, so tactics that I teach. Well, we have two programs, Ready Set Gram and Ready Set Gram Pro. I teach very advanced Instagram direct message tactics. Instagram direct message is a whole big strategy in and of itself. And most people are just trying so hard to sell in the DM, but you can use voice memo and video conferencing, and you can create groups and really go deep in nurturing relationships. And there's so many strategies when you post. You can DM up to 50 people. You can put 33 people in a group. There's so many ways to build micro communities in the DM. And so we close sales regularly from me. No automation. I don't do any automation. The only automation I do, and I'll share it with your listeners, is a tactic that I teach using the quick reply feature in the DM. That is the only, it literally is like a text expander feature that Instagram has.
Awesome. And just to confirm, that strategy, is that in the pro course or the introduction course? Or a bit both?
The quick replies, I'm going to share the link with everybody so they can learn that. Okay. Instagram direct message tactics are in my very high level coaching. Yep. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. So I'll just expand on that a touch as well. It's not just a matter of, hey, get my free thing every single day. There's also got to be, hey, let me teach, let me give you value, let me give you value, let me give you value. Okay, hey, if you like more of this stuff, here's this free thing there. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Did you want to expand on the quick replies? Did you say you were going to show that now?
Yeah, the quick replies, I will share a link with you here in chat, and I will also share a link on your Facebook group.
Awesome. And if you're listening on the podcast, I'll take that and put it in the show notes as well. So awesome. All right, cool. So that all sounds well and good there, Sue. I've got a very good understanding of that. I'm sure the listeners do as well. What about in terms of growing the Instagram account? What if someone's like, hey, Sue, look, I get it. I've got all this sort of stuff set up, but I've only got a handful of followers and I'm not really getting any more. What would your answer be there?
There's so many tactics that I teach in my Ready Set Gram, but one of the best ones that I talk about frequently is I would spend more time engaging than posting and finding other accounts that have the same audience that you want to be serving and going into who is following them and checking out their audience, their people. And you can also check out who has tagged that person when you're on their account. You can look at anyone that has tagged that account by simply tapping into the profile photo on Instagram. When you go to, for example, if I were to go to Brene Brown on my account, I'll just use her as an example because she's awesome. Yep. And I wanted to reach out to, her followers. I can just tap it. She has 3 million followers. That's a lot. But you could also, to the right of her IG channel, there's a little profile person in a frame. When you tap that, those are people who are actively tagging Brene Brown. Those are active Instagrammers who understand how to strategically tag. And those, in my opinion, are better people to connect with than just the 3 million people that you could kind of check out from her account. So this is if she is in your niche and her audience is your audience, it's a great strategy. Another strategy right now is if you are comfortable doing stories and you're comfortable doing posts and you want to take on the newest feature, Reels, it is being pushed out by Instagram for Discover as well as IGTV. So I would lean into creating more IGTV content and creating Reels that are educational, not entertaining. The entertaining ones, I unfollow, block, and I'm not interested in your dance moves. I'm interested in learning. So you need to make sure that if you're creating Reels that it still aligns with your business and what people would want to learn from you.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. Let me give 2 quick points there to summarize to the listeners. So I love how Sue said it's not just about posting. If your whole strategy is, all right, I'm just, what are you doing to grow your Instagram? I'm posting every day. That'll only get you so far. Spend more time interacting. And there's different levels of interacting, how deep you get with that person, how to find their most engaged people, and potentially, like, maybe not a Brené Brown, but even if there's a smaller micro influencer, there might even be collaboration, right? You tag that person, they may tag you back, they share it, whatever it may be. So I love that there. And then I love how you've mentioned Reels, Sue. So a lot of people watching this might not even know what Reels is. We might dive into a little bit of that later. But even what I like about that is almost, let's say, a strategy. What I've found with most social media platforms is whenever they bring out something new, there's usually an immediate push. And that's what I'm seeing with my feed in the moment in Reels. One of my friends who's in this group, Steph, if you're watching, she also does a lot of Instagram work. She posts a few Reels, and I was seeing multiple of them a day on my feed. I'm scrolling past, I'm like, a reel, another reel, another reel, another reel. Whenever I'm in my Explore, there's always a big reel up there. So that's even like, if you're watching this now, okay, cool, push the reels now. But even if even take this as a long-term thing, whenever a new feature comes out, there seems to be a push. It happened with Facebook Live, it happened with Instagram TV. Would you agree with that, Sue? Whenever there's some sort of a new feature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's true. You know, IGTV is pushed out as well. My IGTV channel always gets a ton of views, and next week I'm actually creating 4 reels in a row that teach phenomenal ninja tips in 15 seconds, because that's all you get is 15 seconds to teach something.
Yes, and I'll piggyback off that for a sec. Then I want to get into the burrows a little bit. What I'm finding in the social media world in general is the shorter the better. You know, when TikTok had a push with Instagram stories, with Reels, the shorter the better. So that's another thing, people listening. If you can get your point across shorter, and I learned this from you as well, Sue. When I was with Sue at Social Media World last year, she's like, "Hey, we're going to take a quick story together. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go." And I was like, "Hey, what's happening? My name's Jono from Fitness." And she's like, No. Stop there. You've got 15 seconds or less. Tell me your biggest takeaway in 15 seconds. Go. So I think that's important. But hey, Sue, I know you talk a lot about the burrows. And interesting, because last time I spoke to you, it was the 4 burrows, because the reels weren't even around there. Now, I want to be respectful of your time. So don't feel like you need to, give us a full breakdown on each one. But even just a couple minutes on, I guess, each burrow. What is it? And where does that fit into the Instagram ecosystem?
Yes, I love that you're calling it boroughs. So these are neighborhoods, and Instagram's a village. This might be a difference in what you guys think of as villages over there versus here. But let me just make this the right size. So basically, like I said, there's 5 different places that you can create content now on Instagram. And the feed, stories, IGTV, Instagram Live, and Reels. And so you cannot access Reels yet from the desktop. So I can't even show that channel on the desktop. But what I can show you is the breadth of what it looks like in an IGTV channel and in my feed and in stories. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and just kind of take you into that so that you can understand a little bit deeper. I like to go deeper. Deep is my word for 2020. So we're going to go deeper. So here I want to point out, and I know that some of you are just listening and not looking, what I do all over the internet, no matter where you see me, is consistently show up in a branded look and feel way with the energy that I give in person, that Jonah can attest to, as I do online. And so everything I do always aligns with that, so that when I land in your feed, you know it's my post and that you should pay attention. With that said, right now we're looking at my bright avatar, my highlights, my feed post, and to the right of that is my IGTV channel. Even my IGTV covers are all branded to stand out consistently, be on brand, and stay memorable, stay top of mind. And these are very different types of videos for the most part than what I share in my feed. And so those are, IGTV is a channel, and the reels you can only see on mobile as a channel, but you can also see reels in the feed if you choose to save it to the feed. So like this is one of my reels, and you know, I don't know if you can hear it.
Not quite, or very soft.
So I can share that link so people can actually see it. But that's had over 20,000 views since sharing that. And so to your point, you really can get a lot more views. And I'm basically telling people, don't do reels unless you've mastered posts and stories. It's so important that you really understand how to strategically show up and give value in your stories, in your feed post. And again, even in my stories, everything I do is on brand. It's clear, it's concise. I'm maximizing the location. I'm using my hashtags. I'm alternating text and alternating video, and getting people to go back, always to go back to the post, to engage on the post. So my biggest goal whenever I post is to have these real conversations, and more importantly, threaded conversations with people where it's a back and forth conversation. That's what Instagram favors in the algorithm, conversations, and in conversations that, where people are like answering, not just like an emoji or great post or nice pic. And the other thing I want to point out as an update from Instagram, you can now pin your posts. So let's talk about this for a second, because I think this will help everybody understand a whole nother strategy, which is really whenever anybody comments. I did a 3-day mini series on pinning, and Instagram added a new update where you can basically acknowledge your best comments from your feed post. And so when you pin a post, and you can pin up to 3, and I just did a YouTube video about this that will be coming out soon. But what you can do when that post gets pinned, that content creator gets a notification that their post was pinned, and it's at the top that the post is pinned. So I have a lot of comments on this post. So you can literally only do it on mobile, like swipe to pin the post. But I teach you how to do it on this post, and I will share that as well. Because pinning, basically what happens is you are celebrating your engaged followers pinning their post. They're getting a notification that they were pinned. They're now at the top of your comment for others to see, and they can get discovered by being pinned. So it's an honor to get pinned, and you want to leave. This encourages comments when you see something that you like, that you learn, that you're like, oh my God, that was such a great tip. Like, don't just keep scrolling, leave a comment, because when you get pinned, it can really serve you well.
Yes, love that. I glanced at that video when you posted it, but I didn't go in depth. And now I'm just thinking of it. Okay, yeah, it's such a good win-win. Like someone like me, my goal is going to get you to pin my comment, Sue. I'm going to be like, okay, to pin my comment. I'm going to be like, okay, you know, I'm competitive. I want to do this sort of stuff. So that there, but then even strategically, I'm going to be like, well, hold on. If I want to grow my account, maybe Sue has some course creators there. So, hey, I'm going to aim to do a really, really good comment there. So I get pinned and maybe I get some followers that way there. So it's a good win-win. And I also just want to touch on what you said there, Sue, about conversations. I think it's a double win. It's like, all right, you might do a post and you get a whole heap of likes or a whole heap of people using the fire emoji, and that's great. But ideally, if you can get conversations going in that thread, that's ideal for two reasons. Sue mentioned the algorithm is going to favor it. If you have two posts and one of them has 20 comments, but they're all great posts or the fire emoji or whatever, and another has 20 comments, but they're all, hey, Sue, I've got a question about this. If I was to do it like this, is it better like this? Hey, Sue, I've tried that, but it didn't quite work. Have you got any suggestions? Here's my thing here. One is going to be way better for the algorithm, but also one is going to lead to a better community, better relationships, and better sales. Like someone puts a fire emoji, how is that going to turn into a sale? You know, but if someone asks you a question, okay, cool. And I'm sure you teach this sort of stuff on how to turn that question into an actual sale there. So I love that. So I'll summarize what I've heard there, Sue. So essentially your major goal is, all right, you know, let's get the feed happening. Let's get conversations happening on that feed so I can bring it down into the DM. And we're essentially using our stories to show glimpses of what we're doing, but also to get people to actually go to our feed. Is that the strategy there?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So, okay, well, even let me ask a different way. So we've got the strategy of the feed. It's like, great, let's get conversations going in the feed so we can essentially lead that to a DM and a sale. These other burrows, you know, the story, the TV, the reel, the live, what's the point of them? Why do we do them? Why are they different to the feed? Why should we do one in one in the other?
Yeah. So as I said earlier, people are hanging out in different neighborhoods, and the stories help amplify, promote, and broadcast the evergreen content that lives on in your feed. So every time you post, I have a system, a story system that I teach on YouTube, where you literally should be sharing that feed post to your story, but not just sharing the feed post to your story. You have to give it context, and you have to say what's in it for them if they go and look at that post. What are they going to walk away with and learn? And you have to let them know it's not their job to figure it out. I say this all the time. It is not someone's job to figure out what you want them to do. It's your job to make it crystal clear so they will take the action that you want them to take.
Yes, love that. And I see it all the time in stories, you know, maybe just someone will share a story with like a thing that says new post. And maybe I'm going to click there, maybe not. But if someone tells a bit more of a story about it, hey, just created this post where it teaches bang, 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 bang. It's in my feed, arrow, click here to do it. I'm going to be way more likely to check it there. Now, one more question, Sue. Oh, sorry, we're
Wait,
going to
wait.
share
Then I
something.
want to answer one more thing that you
Oh, yeah.
said. So you asked about stories, but
Mm,
live. So every Monday I go live at 3 p.m. EST to again talk about the YouTube video that is our content, our gold standard of content that we are committed to creating every week. And I go live and I create FOMO because on my live, I teach something that I haven't taught anywhere else that has to do
mm,
with the content that I shared on YouTube. So our goal is to get as many views to YouTube, just like Instagram. YouTube has an algorithm within the first 24 hours. We want to get views and retention and likes and comments on YouTube. So we treat our YouTube content like we do uh, a promotion, and we want to get everyone over there to
mm.
comment and be part of the conversation. Here's what your listeners need to know. I always, on my lives, I always say, you want 50 to 100 new followers. All you need to do is hang out in the comment thread of my YouTube videos, because one of my call to actions is for everyone to put their Instagram handle who watches my YouTube video so they could get a chance to get featured in an upcoming YouTube video. So
Wow.
it serves me, it serves them, it serves my community, because all people need to do is say, hey, I watched Subi's YouTube video too, and I saw that you were on her channel. Like-minded business owners connect. So that's one place. And then the other is every single comment on my Instagram account are business owners who want to make an impact, who want to make more money, who are creators and are in niche markets. I have a lot of people in the health and wellness. I have a lot of people in the pet industry, the beauty industry, real estate agents, doctors, you name it. I've got every niche you can imagine. So I always say just hang out in my conversations and in my comment threads. You can gain 50 to 100 new followers like instantly.
Yes, love it. Well, there you go. There's probably the best tactic there. When I mentioned earlier, hey, how do you get new followers? Just hang out in Sue's YouTube channel and you get a whole heap of them there. And I'll make sure I'll put these links in the thread and in the show notes as well. One more question, Sue, and then just a couple questions I'd like to finish up with. If we were going to do like an imaginary audit, let's just say you imagine, like you see a lot of Instagram accounts, right? And I'm sure there's some common threads where you're like, all right, hey, if you just did bang, 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 you would get way more traction, way more followers, way more interaction, whatever it may be. Could you
What's
give us
your
some...
account?
Oh, okay. Let's go my course. Let's go my course creator one. Yeah. So course underscore creator underscore community. Now this is a brand new one. There's like nine things in there, but let's do it anyway.
Okay.
Do you want to share?
Hold on. Yeah. You want me to look at this one and give you some feedback?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that's a long username.
It is.
First of all, your avatar should be you and not words, because no one connects to a logo. We connect to people. So course creator community is the name of your account. You don't need to say it again. Sell more online courses. That's what you do. And you're missing some SEO there. You must have a certain niche that you sell it to. You don't sell it to everybody. So what's your niche?
At the moment, it's just anyone that's got an online course. So I haven't niched down on that one yet.
Yeah, you need to do that. And I don't see your credibility. What makes you the go-to person here? How much success have you had doing it?
Me, I've about $1 million a year in courses I sell.
That should be in your bio.
Okay.
That's credibility. Just like I say, 8 years I've been teaching.
Yep.
So, and I don't love the way your feed looks because it's very, it's just the same old like videos. I don't even know what these videos are. It looks like testimonial kind of things, but you're not in here at all. I don't even know who you are. I'm not even connected to you in any way at all. And that's what's really missing.
Okay. Question with this. Now I might have, this will go a few different ways, right? So I've got my personal account as well, which is where I do that sort of stuff there. This account, I actually want to be more of a community account. So it's not even, I want it to be about me. I want it to be featuring other people there. So those videos there are actually other people's tips and that side of things. What's your...
Are these people that you know, or just random people on the internet that you took their videos of?
No. So this is like, say for example, the last one there will be a LinkedIn expert, right?
Do you know her?
Yeah. So it's essentially, hey, Rachel, I know you're an expert on LinkedIn. Hey, do you want to create some content? I'll put it on my account and shout you out. I think there's a Pinterest expert there earlier. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not buying it. You're not the authority. You're just using other people's expertise on your account to grow it. So
okay.
I want to hear from you. I want to know what you do to help me. I don't care about them. This is your account. So I don't love this strategy from a community building authority, because it's super easy just to take what other people are saying and put it here. And, you're doing user generated content is what you're doing. And there's just no you. You're missing. I have a community account. I mean, I have a team account, SBZ team. Yeah. So there's things that you could do to improve this, in my opinion, and you can take it for what it's worth. I'm brutally honest. I just always have been, but I don't love the vibe of this. It doesn't even represent your personality in any way.
Okay. Good tips. That's good tips for me. And I think good tips for my listeners as well. Now, Sue, there's a few questions I always like to finish off with. Now, you're obviously a mentor for plenty of other people out there, plenty of other business owners. Who are your mentors? And you can answer this in two different ways, whether it's someone that you've hired specifically to be like, yep, you know, I want you to help me grow my business, or whether it's someone you follow from afar, like a Brené Brown or a social media examiner.
Yeah, I don't pay. I mean, I would say more people that I collaborate with than mentor. Back in the day when I first started, I definitely had mentors, but now I mentor more people than mentor me. But I would say my buddy Billy Jean over at Billy Jean is
Mm,
Marketing. He
yes.
and I are really close and talk regularly, and I think he's the most brilliant online marketer there is. Because like me, he gives zero fucks about what people think about him. And he leans into some more of the challenging, abrasive conversations that people sometimes struggle to have in risk of losing others. Like with me, like I do have a potty mouth and that might turn some people off, but I'm not going to change who I am for anyone. So either you love it or it bothers you, and I could take it or leave it. But I think my favorite people on the internet are those who are 100% authentically who they really are, and they're not. There's no ego. It's like Billy. I don't have to work. I love working. Um, the money is the value exchange of my value. It's not going to
Mm,
change lifestyle for me. I have more than I could ever want or need. So I tend to like people like Ryan Dice at
mm,
Traffic and Conversion. He's a good friend of mine. I've spoken on his stage several times. And Marcus Murphy over there, and Tyler Anderson, and yeah, I just, Vivica Von Rosen, the LinkedIn expert who I speak on stage with frequently, Amy Landino, who is phenomenal podcaster, business boss, entrepreneur. Mostly my fellow speakers are other people that I respect and collaborate with. So, in terms of mentors, I would say that Steve Dotto and Billie Jean are at the top of my tier right now.
yes, I'm a huge fan of especially Billy Jean myself. I heard him, can't remember what, I think it was must have been Social Media Marketing World a few years ago. And I'm like, okay, this guy's different and he knows his stuff. So huge fan. Okay, last question, Sue. In regards
Yes.
to books, is there any book, one book or couple books that you've read that just changed your whole, or that opened up more ideas in terms of business and marketing? Or maybe not even yourself, a book that you recommend any of my listeners should read?
Donald Miller, A Brand
Mm,
Story, is phenomenal. And we really learned how to niche down from our messaging significantly from going through his training. And when you land on our website, you know exactly what I do in 3 seconds. And that's really important. And but if you confuse them, you lose them. And that's like his mantra. And I always say it's your job to just be crystal clear in everything, your messaging, your captions, your hook, your call to action, all part of that anatomy of an Instagram post, and your bio, your boss bio. The bio is essentially the cover of a magazine, and the content in your feed is the supporting visual of that promise that you made in your bio. And if people aren't seeing that content in your feed that supports your bio, there's a disconnect. And that's what I'm feeling when I look at that community account. I just feel a disconnect.
yes, okay. Makes sense there. Sue, someone's watching this, listening this, they're like, all right, this woman is cool. You know, I want to follow her around the place. What's the best place for someone to start? You've mentioned Instagram, you've mentioned YouTube,
Yeah,
you've mentioned your website,
I
all of them.
I like action takers. I don't like lurkers. People that are seriously entrepreneurs and take action, as I have my whole life. I say come on over to Instagram at the Instagram expert and let me know either in a DM or on one of my posts what your biggest takeaway was. Jonah, do that you want them to at mention you or your course? See your
That's
course.
right. I want this to be about you, Sue.
Okay. So yeah, I really would like to know what's resonating because we covered a lot and I could talk about Instagram all day. So I want to make sure that the listeners are walking away with tangible tips and resources. And that's why I shared so many links. And I'm that business boss that can multitask. So I dropped a lot of them in Facebook and in the chat so that you guys could have that. And I like to know, like, what's your biggest struggle when it comes to Instagram? Like, why aren't you getting the engagement, the conversations, the conversions? Conversions being adding someone to your email list, getting a new subscriber, having somebody join your group, or, sign up for your webinar or your training or your course, because we make money on Instagram every single day and it is absolutely possible. I shop like a boss from the ads that are targeted to me, and we spend $900 a day on ads, so we target appropriately as well. So I just want to make sure that everyone that's tuning in gets what they came for. Let me know what you think, and I'm here for you.
Awesome. Well, Sue, that's pretty much everything I wanted to get through today. Is there anything I should have asked you but didn't or forgot to, or is there anything you want to finish off with?
Yeah, I always love to give kudos to people that tune in live whenever I'm on my Instagram live. And I see Chris is here in the comments in the Facebook group, and he's talking about clarifying message, which is a struggle. And he really has appreciated these tips. And he wants to see the changes that that you make based on what I said. Chris, the clarifying message, I teach this a lot. It's really important that you always say what's in it for them. Like, I could care less that you lost weight. I could care less that you went on a vacation. I want to know what's in it for me. If I read your post, am I going to walk away with an aha moment of some kind of, oh my gosh, I really like this person. I like their energy. I like what they said. I like how they said it. I like this tip. And if it's just something that I could get on the internet or that I've seen already, you're not standing out. And that's why it's so important to have your own signature style, to lean into your credibility and your zone of genius and your brilliance, and to only be talking to those who you really want to serve and do business with. Because when that happens, work never seems like work. You're just simply making an impact while making income, changing the world one person at a time.
Wow. Love it. Awesome. Well, Sue, thank you very much for your time.